form this relationship with the client from the time that they come in to the time that that car leaves.
Some of these relationships they have are long-term relationships.
It's similar to marriage.
It's something that you think about when you're going to bed at night.
There's a lot of give and take.
You know, you make that commitment and that's it.
It's the first thing that comes into your mind when you wake up in the morning.
How much time and effort you put in is exactly what you'll get in return.
The relationship the client has with their vehicle is very much like a marriage.
There's highs and lows.
It's all about the satisfaction that you're going to get of a job well done.
The relationship we have with Gil and Linda and the vehicles is like a marriage.
That relationship the client has with that vehicle, we share that with them. So we're both married to the ride.
Gil and Linda are married to the rides.
So 1955 Chevy sedan delivery. It's interior time. We've watched this thing go from metalwork, bodywork, to now it's at the point of interior. We've been doing things along the way. You know, Julio got a hold of the seats, got those things all wrapped up. They're fitting beautifully. You can always tell when the seats are a nice tight fit and they're just shaped perfectly. I always judge it by the fit and finish by the number of slaps Julio has to give this thing to fit. And this was about 6 slaps, so that's pretty high on the slap list. So these things are tight, they look phenomenal, they look even better in the car. So now it's basically time for Kurt to get in there. He's got to do the wheel wells because we're gonna wrap those in leather. So he's already patterned it out, so we're gonna have to get in there and kind of lay the leather out, make sure it's nice and stretched, get the seam down, kind of work it out so that way there's no wrinkles. Once he gets that done, the work continues. He's got to get the carpet in. And then basically once the carpet is in, the wells are done, I'll probably jump in, we'll give him a hand getting the door panels all set. I mean, he did a phenomenal job on the door panels, which is, if you look at them, they look stock appearing, they look original, but to look at the amount of work that goes into it, you know, getting the panels done, the base panels in plastic, covering it in foam, sanding it, making sure all the chrome trim fits. And by the way, we want an original style armrest, so that has to fit. And then in the end, you stitch up some nice period correct pleats, you get the panel on and somebody looks at it and goes, oh, that's a stock panel. A lot of work goes into a stock panel. And I think this one's coming along great. We're gonna get this thing wrapped up. We're gonna get it wrapped up in time for the show. And I'm interested to see what people think of this one.
So Koba's working on the glass today, the door glass. He's gonna get all of that in.
We have to install this thing today. I think whole glass system, all the felts, everything. So that's what we're doing today. Next year it's supposed to go glass.
He's already made the adjustments on the back tailgate that needed to be made. We will be putting the glass in there, but it was really important to get the new hinges on there. There's special hinges that are required just for that, to hold that weight. It's pretty heavy. We have our glass specialist coming in to get the windshield installed. This way we can keep moving. It's not something we wanted to take on. It's a special shape. It's the original glass. And you always want to have someone that does that for a living all the time, every day, all day, doing something like that. Next up for our 55 sedan delivery is our front end assembly. We have everything all set. Our inner fender wells have been painted, the chassis black to match the inner hood. We did undercoat them. We have the new rat support has all been freshly painted, and I think it's really gonna look sharp. It's not that it doesn't look sharp already, but once the rest of the front end and you have those beautiful fenders, and then next comes the grill and all the fun stuff and all the shiny jewelry, and it's actually moving pretty quick.
So today we're working on the 1955 Chevy, and it is the dreaded headliner on this thing. I mean, the number of bows involved, it's quite a bit of work. So Kurt's got the bows all prepped. They're in the headliner, so now we got to get this thing in there. And the challenge is, normally these headliners, they're lightweight, either cloth or lightweight vinyl. This is all heavy, kind of heavy grade vinyl, so it's a little heavy to get in there and kind of manage that, but Kurt does a phenomenal job doing it. He's going to get all those bows set, he's going to get it all stretched out, throw a little heat on it, and I think in the end it's going to look like it's always been there. Nice and perfect, factory looking.
We're at the point now where we're getting ready for Syracuse Nationals, so we are almost done getting the 55 sedan delivery all set, and we called Jess to come on in and do a cut and polish, which is usually customary. You want to do that before you deliver a vehicle and make sure the paint is absolutely spot on and perfect, and she's the best person to do that.
I'm Jess. I'm from Newburgh. I am actually going to be an English teacher, but I've always done this stuff. I've done it since I was, I don't know, over 10 years. I started when I was 14. My brother pretty much taught me everything that I know. The sanding and buffing is my favorite part because it's tough work. I'm sweating pretty good right now, but it's rewarding. Obviously, it takes a lot of time to sand everything, get all the dirt out. It's the rewarding aspect. It's like one of the last things, you know, that gets done to the car before it leaves. Most people have no idea that any of this has to get done. Like, I'm the behind the scenes guy, you know? First thing I do is look at it, and like, especially like up here is rough, so I know I'll probably hit that with 15. And I'll feel it just for like the dirt nibs and stuff that's caught in the paint, you know, last coat of clear or whatever's there. When I finish sanding, I'll start polishing, and I do like a 4-step process. So I'll hit everything with compound on a wool pad first, and then I hit everything again with a foam pad, compound again. It just gets the swirls out from the wool, and then you go over with like 2000, which is going to be your foam pad, and it makes it a lot easier to buff after that. I hit it with the step 2, which is like a polish. It kind of gets out the fine stuff, and then after the second step, I hit it with a 3rd step, which is actually like the finishing polish, again, like a glaze polish. And that's after you finish compounding everything, it's a piece of cake. The wool pad is the worst of it. It's going to take the longest. But after that, everything pretty much goes smoothly. So I finished cutting. All the sanding's done. I'm going to start buffing soon. Start with the back, work my way around the car, hit the passenger side, and then customer comes. Hopefully he'll be very happy. He's seen the roof. He was very pleased with that. So that's pretty much it.
You know it's the end when you see all these little things come together, like the hood ornament going on and all the emblems going on, and it's kind of like, you know, you've baked this cake and you did all the parts that nobody sees, the cake underneath, and it might be tasty, but nobody ever sees that. Everyone sees the frosting and sees the decorations, and those are the things that immediately catch your eye. So Koba has polished everything up all nice, and he's getting all that ready to go in the car, little by little, piece by piece. It will all come to completion. We are next to our 1955 Chevy sedan delivery, and we're actually wrapping this one up. We have, at this point, pretty much everything together. All the chrome is on there. Scott's actually doing some wiring in the engine bay just to finalize everything, wrap everything up so we can actually start test driving it, because we did put new brakes and new transmission, so you want to really kind of work out those kinks. And it's kind of been all hands on deck this past week, as far as everybody's had hands on it, multiple hands, some people up front, some people in the back. And the interior has been going in, and I'll let Gil talk a little bit about that.
So Kurt and I just wrapped up the headliner, we got the carpet in, obviously the door panels are on, all the trim. So right now we're just kind of working on that cargo area with, I don't know how many pieces of trim, trying to figure out what each piece goes to and getting all that set. So it's pretty much back cargo, carpet, and seats are already done, and this one's going to be a wrap pretty quick. So. One of the final pieces we have on this 1955 Chevy, in order to get it ready for Syracuse, is Guido's got to jump in there, and on the rear hatch door we have a carpeted panel. Normally it's just a plain metal exposed panel, painted, usually maybe a couple of metal strips, but for us we wanted that panel to match the carpet on the floor and the leather. So Guido's in there, he's got to get that panel fitting 100% perfect, so that way we can get the window trim on and it'll be seamless.
I'm looking forward this year to going to Syracuse. This year we're actually inside the Expo Center. Previous years we were outside.
So we're all set up at the 2024 Syracuse Nationals. We got both of these cars done, the 55 Chevy and the 69 Camaro. We got set up yesterday, but then this morning we came in, they asked us to move closer to another car builder, a little more exposure. So we got that all set up as well. Day one, crowd has been amazing. The reaction to both projects has been amazing, and definitely looking forward to the rest of the weekend.
The cars inside the Expo Center were very high quality, very good builds, and it was nice to have so many good vehicles under one roof. So everybody had a little bit of everything. There was some kind of a rat rod vehicles, there was some real high-end vehicles. You had Kindig was there right next to us with his beautiful cars. So I think inside the building you were able to see a good mix of different style of vehicles under one roof.
It's definitely a hit. We're getting a lot of comments so far at the show about the color of the vehicle. People love that sea mist green, especially with that light cream interior. So we're at the Syracuse Nationals, 2024 Nationals, and I'm here with Paul from Lift King. We actually started speaking a few weeks ago. Paul has some amazing products. A lot of you guys know we've been working on a lot of pickup trucks. And usually when you see us working on these trucks, there's 4 or 5 guys lifting this bed off, carrying it over to a cart and putting it down. But my good friend Paul here has the solution. He has the right product. Paul, tell me about this truck bed.
Great. We're excited, really excited to have Lift King products working with GCD. Our biggest option right here is with the lift and the box attachment. One technician can remove a pickup box or install it with no injuries, no problems, no issues. Works fantastic.
It looks amazing. I mean, the craftsmanship on it is just spot on there. It looks very sturdy. So Paul, what you're telling me is one guy can do it.
One guy.
So one guy's going to be doing it. Oh, one girl, yes.
One kid.
One tech. One guy's going to be working. 3 guys are going to be standing around watching the one guy work. Thanks to Paul.
Love it.
So this year for the Syracuse Nationals, we are the sole sponsor of the Brush Fest t-shirts. So we're here at day 2 of the Syracuse Nationals, and I'm here with Paul Puza, who I've known for 2 decades now.
At least, yeah, at least.
Paul recently, a few years ago, took over Brush Fest.
We have 67 artists here this year
from all over the world, and they donate their time, their talent, their travel expenses, their lodging. They pay for everything, and they create this unbelievable artwork. And all the money that's raised this weekend is given to Ronald McDonald House. They collect the money. And last year we raised $73,000, and it stays right here in Central New York.
You got all different type of art.
Oh yeah,
Stripers,
yeah.
airbrush artists.
Lettering guys. We have Ryan Evans from Counts Customs here. He's here this year, brought in by our corporate sponsor, House of Color.
Yeah, it's basically the who's who of the industry.
Yes, absolutely. All the OGs are here.
Thank you again.
All right. Thanks for everything you do for us. Absolutely. We couldn't do it without you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, another beautiful piece by Mike Montanez. Mike Montanez from Chester, Virginia.
Ronald McDonald's House is going to receive a check for over $82,000. So that is huge. That is going to make a big difference in so many lives. And I'm just so proud of Paul and what he's done, and I'm proud of GCD that we're part of it. And I mean, the only downside now is I got to tell Paul next year we got to hit 6 figures. I mean, I think 100K, right? I mean. So we are all done. Syracuse Nationals is a wrap. I gotta say the reaction for the 1955 Chevy I was blown away.
The 55 sedan delivery got a outstanding reaction from everybody who came in there.
I mean, because you think about it, it's kind of an all-original appearing vehicle, very period-correct color. The interior had some updates, so that kind of jazzed it up a little bit, but the reaction we had at the Nationals was amazing. Like, people love the fit and finish on it. They love the color. They love the interior.
I heard nothing but good things about people's feedback about it. And they love the color. They definitely love the interior.
I mean, it was the talk of the building all weekend long. So it's pretty amazing when you bring something up there and people receive it so well, and it's like, oh my God, this thing is phenomenal. So it's definitely a proud moment for us. Also, the fact that we brought the 1969 Camaro we completed a few years ago, and that did phenomenal. I mean, the interior everybody was blown away by the color combination of the exterior and interior, the LS drivetrain in that, just the stance on it. So I think we had a nice, really nice 1-2 punch. That classic 55 Chevy, that iconic 1969 Chevy Camaro muscle car. And then you throw in the mix. We have to talk about it. Bob's 1911 Indian Tribute bike. All weekend long. I would say the 55 Chevy was a big hit, and it was, but the foot traffic in the booth for that Indian was unbelievable. So
Bob brought his Tribute Indian motorcycle that he just recently built up to Syracuse. And he did a fantastic job at it. And I mean, I would say 99% of the people that came up could swear that it was an original motorcycle.
And I've never had so many people tell me that something I knew the answer to was wrong.
Nobody wanted to touch it because it's 100 years old kind of thing. It was just kind of funny.
Everyone swore. 95% of them swore that this was a original 1911 bike. Even though we explained to them, hey, it's only a few months old, it was built in 2024. Nope, we were wrong. I actually had one person challenge me and say, hey, I think you should take it to that antique roadshow thing because you're making a big mistake by selling this thing for anything less than big money because it's all original. I can tell you it's all original. And I was like, well, no, it's a replica. So just an update for that guy. It's a Harbor Freight motor. It was built in 2024, according to the Antique Roadshow. We took it to the Antique Roadshow and they said it's a replica. So there you go.
have our 55 Chevy sedan delivery, and it's going home this week. Very exciting. It hasn't been with us that long, but a lot of work has been done in a very short amount of time. Client's so excited to get it back, and the nice part is that he's local, so we'll still get to see it at a lot of the car shows and a lot of the car cruises, so it's not like it leaves forever. We still get to share.
Yeah. Speaking of car shows, we actually took this up to the Syracuse Nationals, and it was a big hit. People absolutely loved the color. They loved the color of the interior. One guy was like all over it because he just loved all the gaps, how they were perfect, which is hard to do on a 55 Chevy. He was explaining the whole process, so it was a big hit. And I'm sure the client's going to get the same reaction at all the local car shows. And this one's definitely an instant classic, and it's done well. It's not overdone. That's what I like about it.
I mean, think about it. We did all the metal work, all the body work, all the paint. We did some upgrades. You know, he wanted to keep it pretty original. So we did leave the original motor, which we just took apart, went through and painted. But updated brakes and automatic transmission, which is always nice. It still looks classic. It still looks original. It's not a resto mod. It's not hot rodded out. You don't start it and hear a big rumble. It's just like such a beautiful Sunday cruiser. And I'm excited. I'm really excited for him to see this.
Even with the interior, we kept it classic. We didn't overdo it, which is what I love about it. It's, you know, we embellished a little bit. We added the Bel Air style door panels. We added some rear panels. I mean, we did do some upgrades with the carpet using the square weave carpet, and did a little sculpting on the seats, but it's the original buckets. It's the original style headliner, all the original trim on it. So again, it's done instant classic, done well, not overdone. We kept the essence of the 1955 Chevy intact, just updated some safety things, and then this beautiful color, which pops so nice, you know.
It's probably one of my favorites here, I would say. Didn't give us many headaches. I mean, we had to replace the entire passenger side quarter on the lower half, but other than that, I mean, it was really pretty much a smooth process.
On the interior side, we had zero challenges with it. It was basically straightforward. It was an easy one for us, but definitely a favorite because, again, I appreciate the style of certain eras of vehicles, and to be able to keep that intact and just embellish a little bit on it. Definitely I have an appreciation for that because, you know, there's a style to a 1955 Chevy, and we kept it. We didn't ruin it. We didn't try to over-improve on something that's already perfect.
To see that roll up in here and know that it was a flower delivery vehicle, and really it had work purposes. It wasn't meant, you know, to make it look beautiful and to drive it and enjoy it. It had duties, it had jobs. And now its job is just to have fun. So
yeah. So it's now going to deliver smiles, not flowers. Just wrapped up another amazing Syracuse Nationals, and we're back at the shop. All the cars were loved. I mean, the colors of that 55 Chevy and John's Camaro, people loved it. So now we're back at the shop, and I'm sure you missed me while I was away.
Sure.
Well, I did not come back.
I was very busy.
I was busy too. So.
I'm sure.
I was. I mean, there's plenty.
But what have you brought?
You always say, I don't bring you back anything. So this year I made sure when I came back from Syracuse, we got some lovely gifts. So while we're at the Nationals in the Expo Center, we met this amazing company, Lift King Products, and they sent us home with a lot of cool stuff. This is one of the things, and I see you're already using it.
Yeah, this is actually really nice because we had the last, obviously the 55 Chevy, the 72 F1, and the 72 Bronco that were going out. And at the end, you have like little pieces of things. You don't necessarily need to keep running upstairs and getting things. So this was nice because we used the top shelf for one car, this shelf for another car, and the bottom two for the Bronco. So it was so convenient to have everything here. It's here, and it's also nice too because as you see things disappearing, you know that the cars are getting closer to being done. But this is handy because I can also label it so everybody knows exactly, you know, what's on each shelf, and we can roll it around, you know, from vehicle to vehicle as they're, you know, one might be over here, one might be on the lift. So it's honestly probably my favorite product that they brought back from Lift King, for sure.
Yeah, and it's sturdy. It's not going to tip over. It's very well built,
Yeah.
and it's useful. So
Yeah.
many times you get some of these racks and it doesn't really have the weight capacity that you want it to have or the function. So, but I didn't just bring back this. We brought back the truck bed lift, which is one person can hook it up and lift the bed off of a truck. And we seem to be doing a lot of pickups,
Yeah.
so that's going to come in handy. They sent us back with a fender stand, a body cart. So once you got the bed off the truck, we can put the truck bed on the cart. And and a hood. They sent us with a hood lift thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of different products they sent us back with.
Yeah,
So
we'll certainly be
it's a
pulling those
success.
things out because we have a couple full builds that are coming down the pipeline. So,
And I know it's useful because I'm
Yeah.
standing in front of the cart and it's loaded with Mustang
well, this is
parts,
now
so
66 Mustang parts
so
that
very
are on
versatile,
here. That's
so.
the next since the other three are complete.
This has to be one of the best gifts I've brought back from Syracuse.
It's probably one of the only gifts you've ever given me,
So it's the best. It's the best.
and that's true. That's the truth.
Besides the gift of me, yes.
I love my Lift King shelf unit. Thanks, Lift King. And yeah, thanks, Gil.
Yeah, thanks.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.